Mount Everest, standing tall at 8,848.86 meters, is widely known as the highest mountain in the world. Every year, hundreds of mountaineers attempt the arduous climb to reach its summit, known as the highest point on earth. But is it really the highest? What if I told you there are other mountains that in some ways surpass Everest? In this video, we'll explore why Mount Kea and Mount Chimborazo challenge Everest status and dig deep into how we measure the height of mountains. To understand why Everest title as the highest point on earth is up for debate, we need to understand the different ways mountains can be measured. The standard method we use is to measure the height of a mountain from sea level. By this measurement, Mount Everest is indeed the highest mountain in the world. But there are other ways to measure height. For example, we can measure a mountain from its base or the point where it starts rising from the Earth's crust. Another method is measuring from the center of the Earth to the summit, which takes into account the ellipsoidal shape, a concept we'll dive deeper into later. Mount Everest is located in the Himalayas, on the border between Nepal and Tibet. It was first scaled by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzin Norgay in 1953, and since then, it has held the title as the highest mountain based on its elevation above sea level. Everest is measured at 8,848.86 meters. But what many don't realize is that this title is based solely on its height relative to sea level. Now, let's talk about Mount Kea, located on the big island of Hawaii. Although much of Mount Kea is submerged under the Pacific Ocean, it is the tallest mountain in the world when measured from base to summit, standing at 10,211 meters from its ocean floor base to its peak. Mount Kea beats Everest by a significant margin. Most of the mountain is hidden underwater, which is why it doesn't get as much recognition. However, if we measure Mauna Kea from its true base, it is taller than Everest by about 1,400 meters. From a geographic perspective, this brings up an important question: should we only measure mountains from sea level? After all, Mount Kea's or Mauna Kea's base lies deep within the ocean, making it a unique case. Measuring from the seafloor changes the way we think about the tallest mountains on Earth. In fact, geologists often consider Mount Kea or Mauna Kea as the tallest mountain based on this measurement. Now let's head to Ecuador, home to Mount Chimborazo. This mountain, while not nearly as tall as Everest by sea level standards, holds a unique title. It is the closest point to outer space. How is that possible? The answer lies in the shape of the Earth. The Earth is not a perfect sphere, it's an oblate spheroid, meaning it's slightly slanted at the poles and bulging at the equator. This bulging effect means that points along the equator are farther from the Earth's center than points near the poles. And Mount Chimborazo, located near the equator, sits on the top of this bulge. This means that when measured from the center of the Earth rather than sea level, Chimborazo's summit is the farthest point from the planet's core, which is approximately 6,384 kilometers or 3,967 miles away. So, how do these three mountains compare when you use different measurement methods? By elevation above sea level, Mount Everest is the highest at 8,848.86 meters. By base to summit, Mauna Kea is the tallest, reaching 10,211 meters. By distance from the center of the Earth, Mount Chimborazo is the farthest point at 6,384 kilometers. Each of these measurements highlights a different geographical aspect of these mountains. Everest remains the highest above sea level, but when we consider the entire structure of a mountain or the Earth's shape, Mauna Kea and Chimborazo offer a different perspective. Understanding the Earth's shape is crucial when talking about mountain heights. As we mentioned earlier, the Earth is not a perfect sphere. It bulges at the equator and flattens at the poles. This means that mountains near the equator, like Mount Chimborazo, are naturally closer to outer space than those located farther away from the equator, like Mount Everest. This phenomena is due to the Coriolis effect and the centrifugal forces caused by Earth's rotation. The force pushes land masses outward at the equator, making them higher in terms of distance from the Earth's core. Despite these other fascinating facts, Mount Everest continues to be recognized as the highest point on Earth because of the standard method of measurement, its elevation above sea level. It is also the most famous due to its prominence in popular culture and its challenging climb, attracting adventurers from around the world. For the average person, the highest point will always be Everest, but in the world of geography, tallest and highest are not always synonymous. In conclusion, while Mount Everest may be the highest mountain above sea level, Mauna Kea and Mount Chimborazo show us that there is more than one way to look at the concept of height. Whether we are measuring from the seafloor, the center of the earth, or simply sea level, each mountain holds a unique place in the geographical and geological landscape of our planet. So, next time someone tells you that Everest is the highest point on earth, you can tell them there is more to the story. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed this informative video and learned some fascinating facts about the height of mountains and how we measure them from different perspectives with the help of geography. If you think you'd like to engage with more fascinating video about geography and ecology, follow us by clicking the subscribe button and keep exploring the depths of our planet Earthlands.